Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea from the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, one that gets to the very heart of what it means to create. We're going to tell this story using the image of a sculptor and the sea to explore how we can actually find strength by embracing all the chaos life throws at us. So let's just start with a question that really cuts to the chase. We often think of art as something born from order, from control, right? But what if the exact opposite is true? What if genuine, breathtaking creativity actually demands a journey into the wild, untamed parts of our existence? To get our heads around this, just imagine a sculptor. He's standing all alone on a jagged cliff, and below him is this wild, churning sea. No, this isn't just some pretty picture. It's a metaphor for a deep, philosophical showdown. See, he represents one fundamental force, and that wild sea, it represents another. And here they are. These are Nietzsche's two fundamental forces. On one side, you've got the Apollonian spirit, named for Apollo, the god of light, reason, and order. And on the other, the Dionysian, named for Dionysus, the god of wine, ecstasy, and pure chaos. This conflict, this duality, well, it's the engine that drives our entire story. Our sculptor, he is the embodiment of this Apollonian spirit. It's that deep human drive to create form, to bring order out of chaos, to build clear, solid boundaries. You could even say it's the force that gives us our very sense of self, our individual identity, shaping the messy world into something we can understand, something beautiful. And then, of course, there's the sea. That's the Dionysian spirit. It's just pure, raw, untamed energy. A chaotic force that comes along and dissolves all those neat lines and structures the Apollonian spirit works so hard to create. It's that terrifying but also exhilarating feeling of being swept up in something so much bigger than yourself, a place where your individual self just completely disappears. Now, here's the absolute key to understanding this. For Nietzsche, these two forces weren't enemies locked in a battle to the death. No, they were partners in what he called a mystical marriage. He believed the greatest art form ever created, Greek tragedy, was born right in that tension, in the harmony between them. It's a perfect synthesis of structured, rational beauty and raw, shattering, chaotic energy. Okay, so if these two forces are partners, you have to wonder, how does that partnership actually work inside the artist? Well, to create something truly great, our sculptor can't just stay up on that cliff, safe in his perfectly ordered world. No, he has to go down there. He has to descend into the chaos below. Nietzsche had a name for this journey: divine madness. And let's be clear, this isn't sickness or insanity. It's a vital, powerful, creative force. It's that energy that just erupts from the deepest parts of us, disrupting our comfortable, predictable lives and pushing us toward creating something truly significant. And this metaphor, it just illustrates the process so perfectly. Think of a soul like a seed that's trapped in this frozen, rigid earth. For that seed to grow, its shell absolutely must shatter. Now that shattering process, it's painful, right? It's internal turmoil, it's disruption, but it is the only path to genuine renewal, to real liberation and growth. Without it, we just stay trapped. But how can any of us look into that chaotic abyss without being completely destroyed by it? It's terrifying. This is exactly where the genius of Greek tragedy comes in. It offers us a kind of shield, a mask. You see, the very structure of the play itself, the beautiful dialogue, the clear plot, the defined characters, that all acts as a protective mask. That's the Apollonian element at work. It provides just enough order, just enough structure for us to safely witness the raw, Dionysian horror of the hero's downfall without being consumed by it. And through this artistic frame, something truly amazing happens. Suffering is no longer just pointless pain. It gets transformed. It becomes a necessary, even a sacred, ingredient in the creation of a magnificent work of art. The hero's total destruction somehow becomes beautiful. So, what does this all actually mean for us in our lives? This whole worldview isn't just about art theory. It's a psychological framework for living. It's about forging incredible strength from our hardest, most painful moments. Adopting this tragic disposition, as Nietzsche called it, it changes everything. It helps dissolve our ego, connecting us to a much deeper communal truth. It teaches us to stop trying to escape our problems and instead to embrace the full, messy, complicated reality of life. Suddenly, accidents and tragedies are no longer just things to be avoided at all costs. They're reframed as the very forces that forge our strength, that build our character. And all of this brings us to the final, and maybe the most difficult stage of our sculpture's journey. This is about the creation of not just a statue, but of an entirely new way of being in the world. I mean, it's one thing to just endure hardship, to grit your teeth and get through it. We all do that. But how do you get to a place where you can actually affirm it, to see it as a necessary and beautiful part of your own story? How in the world do you learn to love your fate? Well, Nietzsche had a phrase for this, amor fati. It's Latin for a love of one's fate. And this isn't just passive acceptance like, oh, well, I guess this is my life. No, it's a radical, active, joyful embrace of everything that has ever happened to you, is happening now, and ever will happen. This, for him, is the path to what he called great health and a truly liberated soul. This quote just captures the whole idea perfectly. It's about a profound, almost heroic affirmation. It's having the courage to look at your entire life, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, all of it, and to say yes to the whole thing. To not wish for a single moment to be any different. By this point, our sculptor's whole perspective has completely transformed. He doesn't see a world of random, painful events anymore. He looks out and sees the entire cosmos, including his own life, as a single, complete masterpiece of tragic, awe-inspiring beauty. He has finally, truly integrated both the order and the chaos. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. We all like to think of ourselves as works in progress, right? But what if those things we try so desperately to avoid, our biggest challenges, our deepest heartbreaks, our most painful failures, what if they aren't just flaws in the marble? What if they are the essential, deliberate strokes of the chisel, shaping us into the masterpiece we were always meant to become?